Howdy, hi. It is Dear Dub Sports College Basketball Picks and Predictions for Monday, December 8th, 2025. We are looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, got to recap previous day's results. A really greasy 5-1, bringing our season record to 133 and 101. Since we did lose one pick, we had $3 to the giveaway fund. That total is now sitting at 129 schmackaroos. All right, so through our 5-1, we had three sweat-free bets, and then two absolute grease monster winners. And then our loser probably should have been flip-flops with the over 162.5 in that game. Texas A&M was down big. They then went up 4 with 30 seconds left. Pop Isaacs proceeds to lose them, not the game, but make them go into overtime because he's horrible. And then they get demolished in overtime. But anyway, 5-1. I'll recap these real quick. Then we'll get on to the picks for tomorrow. First one, we had Kansas minus 6.5. Whether you got it at 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, it doesn't matter. They absolutely beat the brakes off of Missouri. Final score, Jayhawks 80, Missouri 60. Kansas shot 46% from the field, 43% from deep, 73% from the free throw line. Missouri, 34% from the field, 26% from deep, 52% from the free throw line. That is not going to win you many basketball games. Missouri actually won the offensive rebound battle and only lost the turnover battle by 1. They just couldn't shoot, which is to be expected when your offense is singularly run through one guy. It is Mark Mitchell. If he is not scoring every single point, this team is not winning basketball games. All right, next game, we took Utah State and the Mormons minus 10.5. On the road, they were playing at Charlotte. Let us all remember, Charlotte is horrible at athletics. Utah State wins 79-53. They shoot 50% from the field, only 24% from deep. They lose the rebound battle by 4. However, they win the turnover battle 6-19. Charlotte somehow managed to have more turnovers than made baskets. 19 TOs, 18 made shots. They shot 22% from deep, 55% from the free throw line. We should be fading Charlotte every single time they play a basketball game. Their next few games honestly could be wins. Charleston, Lafayette, UIC. Then they get into conference play. They go Temple, Wichita State, UTSA. We will 100% be fading them once they reach the American. This team is buns. Next game, Wade St. Louis and the Billikens minus 23.5 at home to Central Michigan. They destroyed 107-65 was the final score. 58% from the field, 38% from deep. They win the rebound battle by 14. They win the turnover battle by 9. Whenever Central Michigan hits the road and plays up in conference, they get destroyed. Their next game is at Stony Brook. I can be convinced to bet Stony Brook. That'll probably be like a pick'em because Stony Brook is awful. I'm going to have to write that down. Next Saturday, when there's a million other games going on, I will be watching Central Michigan Stony Brook. That'll be a great time. All right, next game. This 100% should have lost. It was my favorite bet of the day. In no world should the minus 8.5 have hit, but it did. St. Mary's on the road. They win by 9. They should not have won at all. Final score 70-61. There is a reason Davidson is on the banned list. You do not just get on the banned list all willy-nilly. You have to be very bad at covering spreads to do this. Davidson sucks. They were winning for most of this game. They were down 2 or 3 for basically the entire game, and they somehow lose by 9 as they let St. Mary's 46% from the field. St. Mary's wins the offensive rebound battle 16-8. They lose the turnover battle. If St. Mary's could have just made any more three-pointers, they would have won this game by 15 plus. But they only made 3 three-pointers the entire game. They still cover, though, because Davidson is horrible. And their final winner was SMU Texas A&M over 162.5. This should not have hit. What probably should have hit was Texas A&M minus 2.5. But then Pop Isaacs had a turnover. Texas A&M was up 4 points with the ball with like 38 seconds left. Pop Isaacs has a disgustingly bad turnover. And then the point guard for SMU, Boopy, whatever his name was, Boopy Miller, he gets a layup. Then Texas A&M throws it back in, another turnover. SMU gets another layup. Then it's tied, a bunch more turnovers later, goes into overtime. Final score of this game, SMU 93, Texas A&M 80. The overtime score was 16-3. That's just kind of how it goes with Texas A&M. They shot 34 three-pointers. They only made 8 of them, 24% from deep. That's just kind of the way of the road. All right, and that was our loser, Texas A&M -2.5. So that is the recap. Let's get on to the horrible slate we have for tomorrow. All right, first game here. Well, actually, before I talk about the first game, this slate is horrible. There are only 6 games, so I would tread very, very lightly because some of these games are rough. This first one, probably one of the better ones of the night. Lafayette on the road at Penn. I'm going to rock the Quakers at home -7.5. This is year 1 of Fran back at his alma mater. He's done pretty well so far this year, 5-4 record straight up. They have size down low. They have shooters from deep. 2 things Lafayette really doesn't have. So I will take Penn minus the points. Lafayette 3-7 on the year. 0-4 when they hit the road straight up. Their road losses are to St. Joe's by 9, Texas by 37, West Virginia by 22, and then Stonehill by 4. Losing to Stonehill is egregious. Their wins are over a Division II team, Ball State by 18, and then Mercyhurst by 8. So basically every single time they step up in competition, they lose. They score just 69 points a game. They played a bottom 125 pace, shoot it only 41% from the field. They're ranked 298th in rebounding, and their defense is 271st. That is not going to end well against what is realistically an Iowa-led offense, but with Penn players. Penn's 5-4. Their losses coming to American and Providence. Those were in the first 2 games of the year. Then Hofstra and Villanova. They return 2 starters from last year's team. They bring in a really nice transfer piece from University of Virginia. They score 80 a game. They shoot at 45% from the field. They're top in the league in offensive rebounding. They should roll at home. I don't think there's going to be many people at this game just because Penn Ivy League finals are coming up. I don't think many students are going to come out to a Monday night game against Lafayette. But a bunch of old people should be there, and they'll clap when the ball goes in the hoop. And yeah, give me Penn -7.5. All right, next game we got, it is South Carolina State on the road. Give me Charleston Southern -10.5. Why did I forget the Southern? Hold on. All right, we have now added an S to make it grammatically correct. Give me Charleston Southern -10.5. If you've been watching for most of the year, I am thoroughly against this South Carolina State team. They are horrible. They still have not won a game this year. 0-9. This is their 5th road game in a row. This team's biggest problem, they don't have anyone who can shoot the basketball. Not a single dude in this team. They score 65 points a game, shoot it 37% from the field. That is lower than what most teams shoot it from deep. They're 31% from three-point land, 347th ranked rebounding team in the country. They have not kept a game within single digits this entire season. How do you do that? This team won the MEAC last year. What are you doing? Charleston Southern 6-5 on the year. 3 of those wins were against D2 teams. So really, they're 3-5. Their other wins were against IU Indy by 12, East Carolina by 12, and then the Citadel by 12. So if they're winning this game, it's probably going to be by 12. They score 84 points a game, played a top 20 pace, shoot at 44% from the field. They make the second most amount of three-pointers a game at 14. South Carolina State makes 5.5. That alone should be enough to get this number across. Charleston Southern, -10.5. I think I would take this to like 17 or 18. South Carolina State is horrible at basketball. All right, next game, it is Grambling on the road taking on Southern Miss. This is by far the weirdest matchup of maybe the year. These two teams have already played each other. Southern Miss played at Grambling just 2 weeks ago. Grambling won that game at home by 5 points. Now they are catching 8.5 points on the road. Why? Grambling, 3-5 on the year. Their wins were against a Division II, Howard by 3 points, and then the Southern Miss team by 5. Their losses are actually all pretty good, minus one Iowa State game where they got murdered. They lost to San Diego by 10. All of these are on the road, by the way. Cal Baptist by 13. Cal Baptist is a good team. They kept Colorado close for majority of the game. Riverside by 9, and then Tulane by 2. You're telling me they lost to Tulane by 2, but they're catching 8.5 at a Southern Miss team that they just beat. Make it make sense. They start 4 starting seniors, then 1 true freshman, shoot it 45% from the field. They're going to play physical. This team does not like shooting 3-pointers. They want to get to the hole, get to the free throw line, and make this game ugly, just like majority of SWAC basketball games go. Southern Miss 5-4 on the year, coming directly off of a 24-point road loss to Miami 2 days ago, where they were only down 1 at halftime. They have wins against 2 Division II schools, North Florida, UT Martin, and Radford. So it's not like they're really beating anyone good. I simply cannot take a team laying 8.5 points, playing a team you've already lost to this year. That makes no sense. Give me Grambling plus 8.5. All right, next game, another SWAC school hitting the road is Southern on the road at Texas. I'm not going to take a side here. I'm just going to take the over, 155.5. Texas, they've looked solid in these 5 games so far this year. Coming off of a home loss to Virginia 5 days ago, they should be looking to score 1 billion points before they hit the road and head to UConn, although I don't think that is a true road game. I think that's a neutral site game somewhere on the East Coast. Southern 4-4 on the year. 3 of those wins are against Division II schools, and the other one's Northwestern State. So realistically, this team is 0-4. Their losses were to Arkansas by 32, Marquette by 18, Washington by 6, and then San Jose State by 14. They play real quick. 8th fastest pace in the country. Shoot it 49% from the field. They make 9 3-pointers a game. Their defense is their big problem. When they have played Power 4 schools, they are averaging 103 points given up per game. Texas is more than capable of doing that. They're 6-3 on the year. Their losses were to Virginia, Arizona State, and Duke. Against these low major conferences they've played at home, they've scored 97, 93, 99, and then they even scored 97 on NC State. So if they're going to get a team at home who likes to push pace and play up tempo, they should be able to keep up. So I'll take the over 155.5. All right, next one. This is the grossest game of the day. Mississippi Valley State on the road, taking on Kansas State. I do not bet this game. Please do not bet this game. I will take Mississippi Valley State plus 31.5. I do not like it. Kansas State, they've lost 4 games in a row, 2 of those being back-to-back home losses to Bowling Green by 16 and then Seton Hall by 11. Now you're telling me they're laying 30-plus points. No thank you. Mississippi Valley State 1-8 on the year. Their only win came at home versus Mississippi University for women. They have a male basketball team at Mississippi University for women. You're reading that correctly. That's not a typo. That makes no sense. Their losses, honestly, better than most people would expect. They lost to Hawaii by 32. Hawaii is way better than Kansas State. Utah Tech by 6. Manhattan by 7. University of Louisiana Monroe by 14. I think they lose this game by like 24. But also don't bet it, because Kansas State might be pissed off and they could win this game by 50. You just don't know. One thing I do know is Jerome Tang is going to be immediately fired after this season. Or maybe they lose this game on the money line and he's fired tomorrow. Who knows? I think if you're on his team, you have to be absolutely boomed mentally. Your season's already over. I mean, at the time I'm recording this, It is December 7th at 10:20 Eastern. This season's done. They're not making March Madness. I don't care how many games you win in Big 12 play. Well, first off, you're not going to win any. You have home losses to Bowling Green and fucking Seton Hall back-to-back by double digits. Jerome Tang, you spent a ton of money on this roster. This is back-to-back years you have been utter dog shit at basketball. You are canned. All right, then finally, we have the best game of the day. I'm going to take New Orleans plus 1.5 at home. Every single stat you look at is going to tell you to bet Incarnate Word. This is why you have to question, why is the line only 1.5 when you have a team who is 5-4 on the road at a team who is 2-7, and the stats are just every single angle you could possibly look at tells you Incarnate Word. I will take New Orleans. They've beaten TCU and Tulane on the road this year. Surely they can figure it out now after losing their previous game at home to Houston Christian by 9. Incarnate Word, they're 5-4 in the year, 1-1 overall in Southland Conference play. They beat McNeese by 4 at home. Then they lost to Nichols by 7 on the road. This is their third game in the last week, second in a row, back-to-back on the road. They're a solid team. They score 84 points a game, played a bottom 100 pace, shoot it 48% from the field. Again, every single stat you're going to look at is telling you to bet Incarnate Word, but that's where you got to put on the brakes. If they're that good of a team, why are they only laying 1.5? This game, it reeks. New Orleans, they've lost 6 games in a row after starting the year 2-1, beating TCU on the road, losing to LSU, and then beating Tulane on the road. The only game they've actually gotten truly blown out in was at Texas Tech, where they lost by 32. Again, the numbers look bad. Just plug your nose, hit the bet button, check tomorrow, see if it cashes. Give me New Orleans plus 1.5. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. No best bet for this one because there's only 6 games on the slate. Dude, I cannot say with any relative confidence that any of these are my best bets. If I had to choose one, I would probably go with the over in the Texas game. But again, no real best bet here. That's it. I appreciate you guys watching and tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.